Jannik Sinner's remarkable consistency on the ATP Tour was brought to a halt after a dramatic three-set defeat to Jakub Mensik at the Qatar Open. Arriving in Doha determined to build rhythm and confidence, Sinner had looked sharp through his opening two rounds at the ATP 500 event. His clean ball striking, depth off both wings, and improved serving numbers suggested he was gradually rediscovering top gear after a mixed start to 2026. But in the quarterfinals, he ran into a fearless Mensik, who delivered one of the standout performances of his young career to prevail 7-6, 2-6, 6-3. The match was played at an extremely high level, particularly in the opening set. Both players protected serve efficiently, with Sinner applying heavy baseline pressure and Mensik countering with bold shot selection and aggressive returning. The set was eventually decided in a tense tiebreak, where Mensik held his nerve and capitalized on a few narrow errors from the Italian. True to his reputation, Sinner responded emphatically in the second set. The world number one raised his intensity, stepping further inside the baseline and accelerating rallies with devastating pace. His backhand down the line repeatedly opened the court, and he stormed through the set 6-2, appearing to have seized full control of the contest. However, the decisive third set told a different story. Mensik refused to retreat, continuing to take risks on big points. A crucial break midway through the set swung momentum in his favor, and despite late pressure from Sinner, the Czech youngster held firm to close out a statement victory. While defeats are part of every champion's journey, this loss carried extra weight because it ended an impressive run of consistency that has defined Sinner's dominance over the past two seasons. Since establishing himself as the sport's leading force, the Italian has made a habit of reaching the latter stages of nearly every tournament he enters. His ability to string together deep runs week after week has separated him from much of the field. Even on weeks where he was not at his absolute best, he often found ways to win, building an aura that made early exits a rarity. The defeat in Doha marked only his second loss of the 2026 season, but by Sinner's elevated standards, it adds to what has been a slightly uneven opening stretch of the year. The campaign began with a setback at the Australian Open, where Sinner was unable to defend his title. Expectations were sky-high in Melbourne after his dominant hardcourt form last year, but he fell short of lifting the trophy again. For most players, an early season stumble at a Grand Slam would not define their year. For Sinner, however, it represented a rare moment of vulnerability. His consistency at majors has been one of the pillars of his rise to the top of the rankings, and any slip naturally invites scrutiny. For Mensik, this victory could prove to be a defining moment. The young Czech has long been regarded as one of the brightest prospects on tour, combining powerful ground strokes with impressive composure. Against Sinner, he showcased maturity beyond his years. He did not allow the Italian's second set surge to derail him mentally. Instead, he reset quickly, trusted his aggressive patterns, and executed under pressure in the deciding set. Despite the defeat, there is little reason for alarm in Sinner's camp. His overall level remains exceptionally high, and even in loss he displayed stretches of dominant tennis. The margins separating victory and defeat at the elite level are razor-thin, and Doha serve as a reminder of the depth now present across the ATP Tour. Sinner's greatest strength over the past 2 years has been his response to setbacks. Time and again, he has used disappointment as fuel, returning stronger and more focused. With the hardcourt season still in full swing, there will be ample opportunities for him to reassert his authority and continue building what has already been one of the most impressive runs in modern tennis.